Have you ever pushed yourself so far that your creativity started to fade? That's why on Capture and Connect, I want to talk to you about why I took a break and what a billionaire in Sedona taught me about burnout.
Welcome to Capture and Connect. Insight, challenges, and proven strategies to help you take your passion for photography and turn it into an income-generating business. And now here's your host, Janice Sullivan.
I want to welcome you who are in the podcast live with me on YouTube. I come in every single Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I'm in the chat with you. I'm in the chat. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, I have experienced burnout. And if you ever have felt burnout or just drained, then stick with me because this podcast is for you. So I'm back. I'm about 90% refreshed. And I want to talk about why taking time off is not a weakness. And I'm going to share with you an individual that my husband and I met in Sedona who taught me all about burnout. And this man is a billionaire. So he knows what he's talking about. One of my special places that I've really enjoyed with the hubby is Sedona, Arizona. We've been there several times. Love the hiking, love the whole experience. I like to go in the winter time because there's not as many people in the winter. Plus, white snow looks absolutely beautiful on red rock. And that's one of my special fun things to photograph when I'm out in the desert. So one time we were hiking, and I do a lot of prep before we actually go out to photograph or do our hikes. When we hike, I always have my camera with me because I don't know if I'm going to be back in the same place. So I have it with me continually. So most people know as I'm hiking that I'm a photographer because they ask me, oh, you like to photograph? And then there's a conversation started. Now, I'm sure that has happened to you. I mean, if you're outdoors and you have your camera, people are drawn to photographers. Matter of fact, every time I see a photographer, I smile at them. I don't tell them I'm a photographer unless we get into conversation, but I do smile and just give them good vibes. I just love, obviously, we all love what we do, right? So this hike that we went on was supposed to be some kind of like portal thing they have at Sedona. I'm not all into that, but I still feel like, hey, if it has good energy, let's just go and do it. So Kevin and I decided to go on this hike and we took off. And as we were hiking, we saw this older gentleman. Now, my hubby loves older people. He just loves to talk with them. He looks mean. My husband looks mean, actually. But people are always like, wow, and then they get to know him and he's like a teddy bear because he's a big boy. He's 6'3" and he's a big boy. So as we were walking, we started the trail and we noticed this older gentleman. He was all by himself. He had no water, no food, and he was just hiking this trail that was hardcore. Obviously, we didn't know at the time that he does this a lot, but there's icy trails. When it thaws a little bit, it can get slippery. And just from my past, and Kevin knows, my grandfather had actually slipped and he broke his hip bone. And he never recovered from this and he ended up passing away. So we were like, whoa, this guy can just fall and hurt himself. And this trail was really a trail that is not known to a lot of people. I like to do a lot of hikes without tons of people. So we go off the trails, or I start asking locals in the area, where's a good trail that I can do some photography? And people help me all the time, which I absolutely love. So anyways, we start hiking with him and Kevin starts a conversation and they're walking and the hubby says, yeah, we stop a lot for my wife because she loves to photograph. And so we don't just trug up the trails. We take our time and we really pay attention to everything. And the older gentleman, I'm not going to say his name. He's very private. So he was just like, oh yeah, I love to just relax. And he started having a conversation with Kevin. And I can hear as I'm photographing what he's talking about. Kevin is such a great person that they could tell that he's true. And so in the beginning, he didn't tell us he was a billionaire. In the beginning of our hike, he was just saying that he's an entrepreneur. He has his own business. And he takes off a full month to regenerate. So he does this every single year. He takes a full recharge break, shuts everything down completely on his side. I mean, no business at all. What he said was, entrepreneurs need to step away to come back stronger. And that hit me. As I'm photographing, I stopped. At that time, I was full force into starting up and connecting to the hospitality industry and licensing and doing all that stuff. And so I was full force into that. I mean, working so hard. I stopped photographing and I said, you take off a whole month? How does your business still work? He says, when you have a system and a team, you can and you should. You must take extended breaks. Now, I, at that time, had no team and I was doing it on my own. I was like, well, I don't have a team or anything to handle things. And he was so encouraging. He still said, you must regenerate, whether it's 5 days, a week, 2 weeks. Set up a system so you're ready before you do it, but you have to plan it. And he was so serious. I mean, he didn't have a cell phone, nothing. He was like, I guess it's him and his wife, but his wife couldn't do the hiking. So he just did it. But he shut everything down. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. And of course, as we were talking, he was asking me a little bit more about what I do. And Kevin was talking to him about what he does. And he was so intrigued about both of us doing what we loved. He was so happy as we walked up on the trail with him. And as we came back down with him, he said, I really appreciate that you're concerned over me. He gave us some tips. And one great tip was love what you do, help others with what you do. And then he says, by the way, I'm going to share with you the super secret area to go photograph some Indian ruins. And I was like, oh, that's this image right here. This image that I took, we scouted. We went up to the ruin here. Just a little side note. We went up to this ruin that, he showed, go this path, come here. He took us to it because it was really hard to get to. People wouldn't know it's around. And so when we got there, I was not prepared. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful. So my first set of shots that I did this was not the best. This is my second time going to this location. Just to let you know, I didn't just get this shot right off the bat. I had to scout out and then we came back and I got this. It is an HDR pano of the ruin from the back looking out. I wanted something where the Indians that were there, I wanted to see their view. And I wanted people to experience it also. Now, as we were walking down, right before he was talking to Kevin about basically, it got into the conversation of him making a lot of money. I mean, he's a billionaire. And he took one step at a time, reevaluates, take one step at a time, reevaluate. He was just taking some breaks, giving himself some energy and just release. At that time, I worked so hard. I got up real early in the morning for my photography. I went to a full-time job. On my lunch breaks, I worked for my side business as a photographer. When I got home, I made dinner with the family, and then I went back to photography. And it was a cycle. I mean, nonstop cycle at the time. And it was because, honestly, it took longer to get to where I wanted to be because I didn't do what this guy told me to do, which was regenerate. I thought I had to go, 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 go. And you hear it to this day. You hear it so much. Got to get on there 5 times, post on Instagram. It is hard to start a business, but it shouldn't be daunting. It should be exciting. And sometimes things don't work. And that's why I have CC Biz Method, because I'm here for you guys. I want a place for you guys. That's why I'm here for the podcast, because I want a place for you guys to really think about business. What I did is I said, okay, I can't do what he's doing because I don't have a team. So I decided to take time off in July for my birthday. I kind of made it like, okay, let's do it for my birthday and let's do it for the holidays during Christmas and New Year's within that time frame. So sometimes I'll do 2 weeks, sometimes I do a week. But what happened was I realized that this year I didn't do that. I didn't do that in July. I didn't take off time for my birthday. And that basically burnt me out. I had so much going on. I have a lot of things like you do in life. We only have 24 hours. I needed to practice what I preach. And I do that. I've done this for years, take time off, but I didn't do it this time. And it hit me. And if anybody has ever had extreme burnout, your body will tell you you're done, whether you like it or not, whether the mind says you got to do this and this and this and you can't get it done. What I realized too is that burnout sneaks up on especially us who are very passionate and creative because we truly care about what we do, and it hits us hard. And many people think that rest is being lazy, and that obviously is not true. Rest is what keeps your art alive and brings inspiration into your work, and you grow. When you're constantly doing and hustling and doing so much and you just go, 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 you'll see your creativity go down. So a business strategy is to set some time. I would love for you to think about that and set a time for you when you can do a week or 2 weeks until you have a team, and then do what my friend that we met, take a whole month. As long as you got it all set, you should be able to do it. Remember that when you do these breaks, it really is part of your entrepreneurial strategy, game plan. For those of you that are on YouTube, you'll see behind the scenes of where I've been photographing and really regenerating myself with the beauty of fall in the New England. And I am actually indoors now with the podcast. I'm going to be playing around with this podcast, but it is like, again, I'm talking to you at a coffee shop. This is not a training where I'm just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, do this, except for we do talk about business here. I share with you what I'm up to, things that you could do in your business. This, I feel, is so important and should be structured in your entrepreneurship as a photographer. If you do not do this, you will be a statistic like everyone else because you've burnt yourself out. I even have a friend that just says, I don't even want to go there when it comes to business. I just want to photograph and create. And that's because society has said you have to do all of the social media. You have to grind, grind, grind. You have to work, work, work. And I think it's because we all want to be successful in what we do, right? But just showing up, getting an email list and communicating with them, hey, I'm on a break, I'm on vacation, people get it. And I did stick with this for years and years. And when I just realized that I didn't do it in July, it hit me so hard that I realized, oh my gosh, yes, Janice. And I needed to speak to you because I know people, I know that you're out there where you're hustling and working so hard. So instead of just saying, I need a break and just taking vacation, just think about when you can do it. Letting people know, like on my email list, I let everybody know I'm taking a break. I let you know on YouTube, I'll be back in 2 weeks and I'm back. That shows your followers, your people, because you're taking passion to profit, that you're trustworthy, that you do what you say. Now, it doesn't always come out to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I do fall through some of the time constraints of different things. But at least you're there and you're telling the truth and you're communicating to your people. You see, we build our business for freedom, to live freely and not trap ourselves to a normal 9-to-5 job or a 9-to-9 job. I mean, some people work so hard, and myself included, and there's certain time frames that I do, and then there's certain time frames that I have to say, okay, stop. Let's regenerate. But that's why we build these entrepreneurial business, because we love what we do. We're passionate. We're going to give value to the people who like what we do. And we're going to live our life the way we want it. Rest has refueled my energy. And it will do that for you and your photography and your art. And of course, your business. So Wallace is going to Africa. Woo woo. I'm so happy for you. Talk about regeneration. That would be so amazing to see all those animals. I'm so excited about Wallace. So let me know in the comments, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to stop? And what did you do? I would love to know. It inspires us as landscape and nature macro fine art photographers to be in a place where we all can understand each other. That's why I always ask you guys to comment. It is, I get so excited when I see the communications of people connecting together. We got to be here for each other, just like the wedding and headshots photographers. That community is absolutely amazing when it comes to the business sector. I want that for you too. That's why I'm here. I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready to serve you. Let's do this. You can join me next week at 11:30 a.m. on YouTube live as a premiere. Then these go out to Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. So you can listen in your ears if you need some inspiration while you're working out, you're doing work around the house, you're photographing, whatever it is. I'm here for you. The more you communicate on Capture and Connect, the more I can bring to your community. I want to end today, our new friend. He really brought and instilled into my life to reframe the business for passion, profit, and purpose. Remember those P's, because that's what truly he helped me understand. If you want to go from passion to profit, you must protect your energy. I have learned, I'm older, and I have learned this, and it's very true. And I know because it hit me again, because I wasn't doing what I really should have been doing from our billionaire friend. It's very important. Rest refuels your art. Inspiration needs quiet. And I really do hope that this episode has helped you to taking your time and regenerating so you can become the entrepreneur that you really, truly can be. But don't forget to come back. You always come back. You don't drop off for months. This entrepreneur did it for a full month. I do it for 2 weeks, twice a year. If you would like help, that's what I do. Look down below. I'll give you a link. Check out photobizmethod.com. Until next week, I hope that you capture what you truly, truly love. Connect with the people that will value what you do. It's time to take your passion to profit. Cheers, my friend. Bye. If you would like to get show notes, links that I talk about in the episode, and a bunch of other goodness like freebies to help you build your photography business, then head on over to photobizmethod.com. photobizmethod.com. See you there.
Here's the road.